Okay. I promised myself I would make one of these a day. Myself. So I can get better. I'm already over it. Because I almost didn't sleep at all last night. Because I was too worried I was going to oversleep or panic too much and wouldn't get to treatment. Which is a real thing. Anyway. So last week, Tuesday, within the span of a half an hour, I decided I was going to go to this new event. He's here in town and do a spoken word storytelling for an open mic night. Literally decided at 7:30, and didn't have anything really prepared. And called my friend David and said, I know you're in for the night and blah blah blah, but like I have to do this tonight. I have to do it tonight. I have to do it right now because I lose my nerve and I have to do it. And it wasn't the story that I had to tell as much as just that I made notes. I've been disappearing for years. From people's lives, from regular life, from myself. You know, when you're alone, you don't, we need other people. And you're like, probably think, well, you need other people, then why don't you talk to other people? Why don't you go where the people are? Well, that's literally part of my sick. But I'm not here to explain myself. I'm here to keep explaining myself to myself. I'm here to get better. But I also want to educate people. But also, I have a hard time validating my own honestness and just anything. So I need to say it out loud. Anyway, I hope you hear. My roommate's home and I'm going to be quiet, but I just need to say this. It's not like if she can, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was like, I know ADHD, it's one of the many things that come with it. People that maybe don't know is impulsivity and problems. Like, I was like, I have to do it now, or I have to do it now, I have to do it now, I have to do it now. And there's been so many times where like, I have to say this, I have to do this now. And in retrospective, I realized like, I really didn't. But this time I was right. I was like, I have to do something brave. And I have to do something that reminds me of who I am, or who I was, and who I want to be again someday, or, well, I don't want to be my old self. My old self was really, I guess just, well, I want to have a chance of being, like, genuinely happy someday, and, like, healthy relationship with myself and others. But I digress. I was like, I'm going to go just tell a story about when I was working at the Cabbage Presence about how I introduced a meal once because I wanted to recognize my parents. It was their anniversaries of them dying, and I had to work and blah blah blah. And it was really funny it was a really funny story that I told at the event. It was for the U.S. Surgeon General, I believe. Yep. And if I had practiced it, I used to be pretty clever. And I still always talk too fast and rambled, but I didn't have anything. I made like 3 voice recordings. I was like, I sent one to Dave and said, listen to this and tell me if it's, if it's anything. And anyway, it was kind of a hot mess. I don't know if I'll post it. Maybe I'll post part of it someday. I don't know. But it was good. I met people for the first time in a real way, or like some of my sort of people, creative people who care about politics, people who can hold space for people that are different or maybe going through some shit. That don't roll their eyes, are just like, whatever. The kind of people I used to be friends with, or was, anyway, my sort of community people. Anyway, and I was so glad. I felt like it was brave. It was hard. It was really hard. It was, it was hard. And, but I did it. And I did it because, yeah, I know. I was supposed to start day treatment like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I got really sick. I mean, I had a really bad cold. But also, like, I was gonna, call and tell them, but I didn't, because I was like, my case manager who finally got a hold of me was supposed to call me back that very day, or the next day, before the next day, which was Thursday or Friday, when I was supposed to start day treatment, and tell me what time it started. He wasn't sure, and he's relatively new, but and then to confirm that they knew I was coming. And it was hard for me. I literally see posts on my Facebook groups for CPTSD and ADHD people who are offering to make phone calls for other people, like to make appointments and stuff. That's how bad it is. Anyway, but there I'm explaining myself. And he never called me. And I didn't call him. I was like, oh, he called me. That was Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was really sick. Thursday. And he didn't call me. Now, not even just about to tell me what time to show up, but to check on me. He didn't call me until Thursday. And I literally was I was 5 minutes away from calling him. Because I was like, I'm better now. I need to go tomorrow. Like, if they'll let me go in with a cough and a, runny nose and all that stuff, I'm going. And then I had written down a whole list of things for him. Yeah, and it took him a week. I just want to look this program up again, this PACT, this program for assertive community treatment, and it's for people who have severe mental health problems, so that we don't have to be hospitalized or institutionalized. And it's 24 hours a day, 365 days a year if we need it. They're supposed to come to our home if we need it. We're supposed to, well, it's not happening, and I was worried about that. I've been worried about that for quite a while. I mean, I literally moved to Butte for this because it was one of the towns that had it, and it was somewhere I could afford to live, and it wasn't too far away, so I could eventually get my things out of Helena. And I assessment, and then no one got back to me. I had to call, and it was blamed on my phone, not having the wrong phone number that I wrote down. I didn't write the wrong phone number down. I had the same phone number for 20 years, or 15 years, whatever. And I got hung up on literally, and then I left a voicemail again, and I didn't get a call back, and I just, scary, and I was like, well, I guess they can't, whatever. So almost another year before I got to what I'm supposed to, and that's, I ended up going to the community clinic, and I had a wonderful doctor, but it wasn't, and then it took a month or 2 months to get the assessment, and I had to talk to my doctor, and I had to talk to 2 social workers that had to call and advocate for me after I wasn't getting anywhere. And then after I had my assessment and it was accepted, I had to have another 2 social workers from the clinic call, and they could be short-staffed, I get that, but then they could communicate that. So 2 years since I moved here. Now, it took me about 4 months to get there the first time. Well, I might feel bad about that because it's whatever. Anyway, I did the spoken word and it was great. But what was the point? I made notes. I've been worried a long time because I knew even just talking. Before I got sick, it took another month and a half to have anything happen, and I was 4 weeks without most of my meds. And I had to keep calling, and there's a reason why I'm supposed to have this whole team. I'm not functioning, and I haven't been. But I did it, right? But I've been really worried you know, it's a smaller town, and I've been learning a lot about CPTSD, and it's not, it's more, it's work. It's like, and it's not like to have some therapy. It's work. It's scary work, and I'm scared. I can't do this much longer. You know, well, first I'm completely disabled, really. So I was like, well, can't go anywhere else. I have a car. I have no money. I have less than no money. It's kind of work, but I've always kind of thought I'm gonna have to get myself better most of it, and that's kind of really, actually, I think the case for most people. They just have maybe more guidance or some guidance. Could be wrong, but from, you know, just if it's not like you take meds and then you go to counseling once a week. It's a whole thing anyway. But you know, I never voiced this to anybody. I don't think because maybe my friend Dave, because he saw me going through all this and not getting called back or whatever. But because if I ever say something like that, like I'm worried about it. I don't think I'm gonna be getting the care I need. You're not trying. You're giving up before you even started. That's what people think, or will say. Maybe people think that, you know, and it's not like that. It's like I know that talk therapy doesn't work for me, cognitive behavioral therapy, because I get it all figured out. It's not that I don't know what's going on, but I always know what's going on, and I know what's going on. I can read things, and I can read people, and I just know. I've been through some, you know. But you can't say that because I'm not trying hard enough. It's just like if, you know, if I had cancer and I was like, well, I'm worried if someone who had cancer diagnosis said, I'm worried that the chemo's not going to work, and they were like worried about it, like, because I've got all this, you know, there's all these spots, and it's been in, you know, I was supposed to have it a year ago, and like, I don't know if the doctor cares that much or has that much time for me. You wouldn't say, oh, come on now. You know, I understand. Like, people, this is how things are different. So I didn't say anything to anybody. And yeah, and I didn't tell everybody that I actually some family that thought I just started on Monday, or maybe Tuesday even, or Wednesday. I mean, because I get exhausted, and I didn't want to tell anybody until I actually went. So I started this last past Friday, and it was Friday, but we played bingo, and that was that was about it. I watched a Christmas movie, and it's kind of what it's going to be like until Christmas, and then still not much more now, because I think it's more just a place for people to go that are, most of the people in there that are in group homes or institutional living settings. I think I'm the only one. There's one other person right now that's not, but I digress. I'm also supposed to be getting therapy of whatever sort they give me, and trauma therapy is different, more involved, and there's the new lady's supposed to be, but I haven't had a call from her. Crisis management, help making appointments, getting rides to the store. I don't have a car, getting rides to the grocery store. I need progressive glasses so bad. Getting I walk around half tape blind, and I forget that I'm blind. Getting whatever I need. Like the director told me, like she's the same director who was there last year, by the way. Like if I'm too anxious to go to the store myself, they shop for me. With what money? And to the day treatment, then I met with my case manager. I met with the nurse practitioner who does the meds. And it's just, to me, quiet, but then I was just, a normal hot myself, so she doesn't know me yet. That's fine. Because that was the most self-advocating I've been able to do this whole time, is with meds when I finally learned about them. Like the fact that, women who are perimenopausal or menopausal have 65%, we lose 65% of our estrogen, and that affects our dopamine levels, which is what ADHD is, last dopamine. Anyway, so it's like twice that. I don't know if she's aware of that, but because really, there's not much known about women with ADHD, or it's not really taught how it changes the hormone levels. Anyway, the case manager's relatively new to the program, but I think he's just new. And he's a nice guy, but I don't feel it didn't make me feel better about anything. I told him I need to start applying for disability, that I should have a long time ago, that I have no income. I haven't had any for a long time. This car, and I'm not functioning, and I don't know where my next rent's coming from, and I'm out of asks, and I'm out of getting help from people. And I've kept trying to help myself, and because I don't know how to self-validate, and like, oh, Kristen, you're really sick, so I kept trying. But I try guess again, so I say that 80th time. And I needed to get on SNAP benefits, like food stamps. That's a really involved process. I'm like, well, I need groceries soon. Disability, like, and I haven't. This is something I wouldn't be able to apply for. I'm not like, because I'm too proud, like filling out forms and everything. Like when I was, before I got really sick. This is an ADHD thing, by the way. It's not like, I don't like it. It's, you know, unless it was for somebody else, like my dad's Medicaid stuff, then I didn't mess around. It was almost impossible for me to get stuff like this done before. And I haven't been functioning at all. It doesn't matter how bad I want or need something. And that's the thing with ADHD, it's hard for people to understand. Like, it doesn't matter how bad I want to do it, I have to do it. But I don't have the dopamine, I don't have the executive function. But I'm really sick. I need help with that. I haven't filed my taxes for 3 years, and I've mostly gig work because I owe money, although it's, you know, I don't know how I've still actually gotten by. Because most of it I've gotten just by on my own. He spent the afternoon doing intake and asking me questions like, what are your goals? He said, I'd like to have a normal life again. To not end up in the hospital. Or institutionalized or just gone. To not disappear. To not be a crazy lady. To make sense. To have a job. To feel like I have a sense of purpose. I said the most important things are being around people, like treatment. You want to just, if sitting there watching TV or people talking, like just being in a room, I was making notes about other things, because when you're just by yourself, you can't get away from your thoughts, even if you're just, anyway. And that I thought that they're going to help me, let me volunteer. Maybe starting lunch thing and stuff, because the lady, like, as soon as I walked into those, she had mentioned that to everybody. I was like, oh my God, I'm sure they won't let me help, but I'm going to ask. And so Friday, that part was great. I was like, after talking to her, the day treatment coordinator, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to help me volunteer. Like, that's all I need to be around people. They can hold space for me and something, and like an actual job too, because I haven't been able to get, you know, volunteer gigs. But yeah, the rest of it just, nothing. This is a food bank. I'm like, can we go there? Like, I don't have a car. And what do I have to apply? Like, what do I need to do? I'm just like, I might have a phone now because there's a government program and it's paid for. Like, I get the minimum, but I think I have to call every month and get it reactivated because my phone's been shut off before. I'm like, dude, he doesn't know anything about that, you know. You might be new, but that's not. I haven't been told to talk to about a peer support volunteer or people shopping. You know, it was like, it felt like. Well, so far it's been less than my other stuff, like, and maybe it's got screwed up. I mean, and these people are all so nice, but you know what? That's not gonna save me or help me, you know. And I don't want to tell anybody this, and it's for me, but like, I get to talk about this stuff, and it's gonna watch, and it's okay. It's not everyone else, but when you have like this mental health stuff, you can't just say this to stuff. And I'm being negative. I'm not trying to, like, it's real. It's treated differently, even if people don't realize it. I'm not using the same thing. And I don't want to be that person anymore because I think I've already been that to so many people. You know, I didn't move back to this, I did this. I mean, like, they don't understand. I don't expect people to, but. So anyway, I got really sick, and I don't, maybe it was somatic, you know, making myself sick, but I thought I was going to go to the clinic, and I thought maybe I had pneumonia, you know, because normally, yeah, it takes me 2 weeks to get there, and I had fever, and I slept the whole weekend, but then, like, I tried, and I was still really on Monday, but congested and stuff, but it was more panic, like my normal panic trying to leave the house, and I couldn't get there. And I couldn't get there yesterday. I just got there today for the first time. And Friday I would just watch Pingo. I mean, and I wasn't gonna have to do any counseling. And it was fine, but we didn't do anything. This afternoon we just sat around. Crafts and stuff. And some people do art therapy, but I literally spent the afternoon taking quizzes. So I have a couple dollars to spend every day. Anyway. And I can, then I can do whatever I want. And I'm rambling, and so it's okay. I'm trying, and I'm doing as much as I can, but I'm gonna have to do myself better, and I really just hope they let me volunteer, because that's all. I mean, is it, or can you guys help me find somewhere, because I can't get anyone to take me up on it, because I'm so much, or whatever. But so this Monday, Tuesday, while I was out, like after I had this intake with him, and it's gonna be too much for you to come in to get here. I'm like, and I said, I'll be there. I'm gonna be there Monday. I don't show up for 2 days, and there's no communication. Nobody calls me, asks me, checks on me. That's kind of the whole deal. And it wasn't like, and I kept thinking, I need to call and tell him I'm not gonna be there today. I'm really physically sicker than I was. But anxious, and I'm not trying hard enough and whatever. But nothing, so. Am I just gonna be going and hanging out with some other people for 6 hours a day, and then, I can't get stuff done myself. That's the whole point of this. I've been trying, and sometimes, you know what? It doesn't matter how hard you try. You can try, and wish for the chemo to work. Sometimes it doesn't work. And I wish I could have done sooner, but I should just say that. I have to keep trying to advocate. Learn as much as I can and do as much as I can, but I'm just going to say that. I'm not being negative or giving up before I started. I just always know shit. I know what's going on. Except that I don't, that I don't realize how sick I am, or I'm going to fix myself, or I can do it. I just try harder. If this happens or that happens. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. But I walked home today and my 2 hours of sleep, and it was beautiful. I haven't even been out in Butte, uptown, or anywhere. I never leave the house. I literally had panic attacks. Just go outside. And it was great. I took pictures of buildings and plants and picking and trying stuff. And I was happy for 10 minutes. And I need to go to bed. I have to sleep, but I have my severe disability, STMI. It's severe disabling mental illness, whatever. I've meet all the criteria for this whole thing I'm supposed to get. I don't want the institution. Where's my cat? I want to have a regular life again. And I want to believe in myself, and I also don't want people to think I'm not trying, but I have to stop that. Because if they don't, I don't want to. I do need to say again, they're my mom's side of the family. My Uncle John and my cousins, my Aunt Nancy. Don't just... You really did me some damage. Not even answering me. You don't just get to... I guess you can do whatever you want. Just decide I'm no longer family. It was like You think I was money grabbing? I don't know what you think I was trying to do. I was just trying to ask for help. Anyway, that's it. I need to go to bed. My treatment's like an hour before my friend takes us to work, but I'm basically like have pick me up and so he can drive me the 4 blocks because it's not because I don't get there. Otherwise, I have to have somebody who knows I'm going, and or more like East County. Like if I ask someone for a ride and I'm not up and awake when they get here, that's on me. It's the only time I ever oversleep, and I need someone else. When I finally got, the reason I finally got a day treatment is because I was like, I don't think it was this again. There's a reason I got approved for this. Like, I mask really well. I mask from others. But I told the day treatment lady again today, I said, I really hope I can volunteer in some way because I need to get here, but I don't know. I can't get here on my own. Otherwise, I need something outside of myself. That's supposed to be the, because I'm gonna have to do all the work myself. So let me do some work so that I can get better. Let me feel like I have a function and a purpose in this life. It's like everybody wants, I need work. Anyway, see, I'm posting these. I'm posting everyone. Unless I decide I've got the energy to make another one instead of the first one that was too long or it didn't make sense or I rambled or people couldn't really understand what I was saying. I'm posting it because this is for me. It doesn't really matter. I wish it didn't matter. It matters to me. Well, you want to say hi? And so I need to go hunt down my case manager tomorrow, and I need to go to the food bank, and I need to do this and that. I need to be taken seriously. Okay. Did I tie it up? Did I wrap it up? This one's I feel like I did pretty good yesterday. I don't know if I did. I'm not letting myself watch these. Whatever. Okay.